This podcast follows my parents, Sarah and Dick Allgood, through nearly a year of daily letters written during the Vietnam War. And by January in 1972, we are in the home stretch. My father is still in Vietnam, flying HH-43 helicopters with Detachment 6, ARRS Squadron, the Air Rescue and Recovery Service, while my mother is in San Antonio with a newborn daughter that he hasn't yet met. And now, something has shifted. Sarah's letters are no longer written just to my dad. They are written around me and through me and about me. And she's learning motherhood in real time. And she's doing it on the pages here. Boy, and she's doing a good job. And these are Sarah's letters. These are my mom's letters, written from January 22nd through January 24th on 1972. Here's the first one, January 22nd. My love, I'll tell you one thing for sure. Your voice and you just saying, I love you, certainly made my day. I was doing Sissy's bottles, and had just finished talking aloud to you, which I'm always doing, wishing you'd call. And sure enough, the phone rings. I ran as fast as I could, hoping it would be my hubby. You sounded so happy. Our really happy day will be in 59 days. Boy, we can hardly wait. Oh, my funny. I don't think I've told you this. I was kidding with Dr. Brecken in the labor room after I found out Sissy was okay. And I told him to make me a virgin for you, because I didn't think you'd ever had one. Remember now, I was as drunk as I could be from the shot he had given me. But anyway, he comes back at me and said he wasn't sure if there was enough suture in the room. I told him to get enough and even add a bow. Well, I think he did. I'm still bleeding, and these damn Kotex are a pain in the ass. I feel like I've been in a saddle for 15 days. Just think, Kotex and a fractured tailbone plus hemorrhoids? That equals a painful ass. Huh. Anyway, I tried to wear a tampon, and the son of a bitch raped me. I mean, it hurt like my first piece of ass. Well, I think it did. I'd have to dig a few years back to remember that. When you come home, I might have to go back for a stretch job. I wonder what Dr. Brecken would say if I called and told him he sewed me up too tight. I bet he'd laugh his ass off. I can't remember that ever happening. I can just see it written on the surgery schedule. What a laugh. Anyways, I told you all about our little Sissy's day and last night. She's really been so good. I can't complain. I'm just so tired. I sleep with one eye open for fear she'll cry or choke on something, and I wouldn't hear it. I've called Ann Wild 1,000 times, asking questions. She has been so nice and patient and passed so many tips on to me. I just hope Sissy has a good night tonight. She was fed and went back to sleep, and the air usually starts to bother her about an hour after her feeding, and we're past that. So I hope it stays good. Anne told me to try and get her to sleep before putting her in the bed, and she probably would be bothered less with the air because she doesn't get upset because I had already put her down. Well, I tried it the last 2 times and it worked. Plus, I'm using the bottled distilled water now rather than boiling it. Even after boiling it, you can see all the San Antonio shit in it. And I think that bugs her too. So I'm still switching back and forth on the bottles. She hates the Playtex nursers still. So I used the even flow bottle this last feeding, and so far I can tell if she's sleeping. She looks even more like you each day. She even smirks like you when she's sleeping. Also, her hair is much lighter. It could be blonde or brown. At any rate, She is and will be beautiful. Anne gave me another good tip. She said that since I'm alone and not knowing how a baby is going to do from day to day, that I should nap when she does. That way, I won't get so tired if she has a bad night. And I'm going to do that. I did nap today when she did, and I think I'll feel okay if she was crying and awake all night. Oh, I'm glad you got the real pictures. I thought you'd like them. Has your mail been getting to you okay lately? Mine has been on the slow side. I simply live for the letters, and when we go 2 or 3 days without, it makes the time pass so slow. I'll take care of the car. What would I do if I had to make a real decision? Huh. Well, darling, I'm going to sleepy now. I'm marking the days off until you can share our bed, our life, and love. I mean, really share, not by the way of the U.S. Postal Service. I love you more than life itself. Hurry home to your beautiful daughter and ever-loving wife. I gave Sissy big hugs and kisses from her daddy. She loved them. And I love you with all of my heart and soul, forever and always. Oh man, and by January 23rd, Sarah is no longer just marveling at her baby. She is trying to understand her, anticipate her, and hold herself steady through exhaustion and doubt, which all new mothers have. Here's the letter, January 23rd, 1972. My dearest darling, boy, I love you. Are you still my chickie? I'm still your chickadee. You'll never be able to try and do away with your chickie, even if you wanted to. I love you so very, very much. Just think, another weekend we've knocked off. I still say, the weekdays seem to make pretty good, but the damn weekends are still the worst. Even with Sissy, I feel so lonely without my lover on the weekends. I tell you one thing, your daughter has kept her mom busy all day. She's sleeping good now. As a matter of fact, she slept this afternoon from 2:30 until 5 p.m. She also had a pretty good night. She was awake at 2 and at 6 for her feedings and went back to sleep pretty easy. And then she slept until 10. And we got up and had a bath and then breakfast. You should have seen her with the rice cereal. She smacks so loudly. She's a clown. I wonder what part of her personality that comes from. Huh. Baby, we have a pig on our hands. She eats like crazy. I think I've been confusing what I thought was colic for hunger. Anne came over this afternoon after a bad morning, and she says new babies usually take about 3 to 4 ounces before they stop crying. And today, except at intervals, she had 5 ounces of formula and rice cereal, 3 ounces of water, 2 ounces of apple juice, and then finally to sleepy for a whiles. Anyways, she was awake and then ate like a pig again. Finally, 4 hours later, sleeping. I am so goddamn tired. I get so worried and frustrated trying to figure out why she's crying. I can textbook theory it, but then these maternal things are very difficult for me. Don't misunderstand. I'm really happy with our beautiful daughter. Just trying so hard to be the best mom. I just feel so helpless when she cries. I am so glad you're missing this part of her life. It would upset you more than me. I'm sure of that. Anne says, I have 3 or 4 more weeks like this until then she starts to settle down. I guess that made me feel better. She said everyone she'd ever talked to who had babies had the same problems I'm having until they are about 6 or 7 weeks old. Becca, I remember, had these I don't know what to do for them days at first. And I guess everyone has to. I've now got her on the Playtex nurser. At first, her little mouth was too small to get the nipple. Maybe she'll get less air and have less belly pain. Colic, I call it. It still takes her a long time to take the formula with it, but I half the time if it helps her to do away with the gas problems she's had. This, too, is normal for new ones. So when I write about our sissy and it sounds funny, don't worry. If anything seems abnormal about her, I'll post you immediately. Okay, love? Well, I've spent most of this letter talking about our precious one. I can't think of anything you'd rather hear about, huh? Well, Jan came up for a while today, and she is leaving here on February 12th. And while she and Anne were here, I did the wash. And I tried to get down to it since I didn't get it on Friday. But I'm afraid to leave her when she has one of her crying days, as she has had since Friday. I really believe now that I know how much she's requiring to fill her belly, she'll be so much better. David and Alicia came down tonight. After they left, I remembered I hadn't eaten anything all day except for coffee, so I decided to have a sandwich. I've lost my appetite. Thank God. I could only eat half of the sandwich, with a glass of grapefruit juice. So, I want to lose all of the weight I've gained. Anne told me not to get uptight if I wasn't the trim, slim me I was when you left by the time you get home. She lost 5 more pounds than when she weighed when she delivered, and it was still 4 to 5 months before she was shapely, even with the exercise. So, I guess if it takes 9 months to stretch and gain, one shouldn't think you can be the same size in 8 weeks. Baby, I'm going to try to CP before she wakes up again. I love you with all of my heart and soul, forever and always. Sarah. Oh boy, and by January 24th, she sounds steadier. Not because it's easier, but because she's learning. And because something else has shifted too. She's no longer writing the name just Sissy. Here she is, January 24th, 1972. Sarah writes, Hi, Chickie. You are the sweetest, most precious darling in the whole wide world. I got 3 letters today that were so sweet, and I say thank you, God, each day for having you. I have no idea why I'm so lucky. And the letters you wrote, Paul and Becca also got a hold of them. They thought I had told you to write it. And that's funny, because I could never begin to write like you. And we all got in the juice tonight, and then I let Becca read it. I'm so glad you expressed my feelings, but I could never do it in the way that you can. Elisa, Sissy, and I seem to be doing better. I'm letting her name her own times, etc., and it's working out. She wants to be fed every 6 hours rather than every 4. The only thing, she eats enough at 6 hours for 2 or 3. Anyway, we had a good night and day. I just hope it continues. Sweetheart, I'd promised I'd write our folks every week, but tonight I decided to call them rather than write. I just can't bring myself to use my very valuable time writing them. I talked briefly, but I figured you'd understand. If not, just tell me. I love you. Well, Becca, Alicia, and I started our shooters at 3:30 p.m. today. I'm trying not to eat, and that way when we drink, I lose my appetite. Oh, honey, Sissy just coughed and spit up while I was sleeping and scared me. You should see her eat rice cereal. She is so cute. She just finished eating about an hour ago. She eats so good, like I said, like her mom. Huh. Well, darling, I wrote all the checks today except for rent and some cash for me, and they are as follows. Telephone, $20.77. Paul Robertson for booze and the commissary for $51.98. To the telephone company for $153.84. To the credit union for $553. I'll post you on all of the other checks as I write them. Okay, love? Forget the Pampers. Sissy does not like them. Huh. No, really, she's allergic to the plastic. She has a solid rash from them. And Alicia went to the BX today and got her some rubber panties to go over the real diapers. So I think we problem solved it. You see, I am learning every day. Darling, I'm really tired and sleepy, so I'm going to close. I'm sending all of our love. Remember, we are yours and only yours, and I love you with all of my heart and soul, forever and always, Sarah and Sissy. Well, these letters are so much about love. There's so much love, and they are not about perfection. They just write what they think, and they write the way they talk, and they're just about being present. And these are the presents, and these are about presents. They're about a woman becoming a mother while holding on to a marriage across a war. And she's learning how to be a mother, and she's laughing along the way, and doubting, and loving so much all at once. If you'd like to support this work, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/The Allgoods Love and follow The Allgoods Vietnam through the eyes of love wherever you listen. Thank you for being here. I'm Elisa Cecilia Allgood, known as Sissy.